Years ago, a compassionate therapist sat with a man who, she noticed, had been repeatedly blaming his father for his misfortunes for decades. It is true his father had abandoned them and left the house when he was a boy, and as he grew up, every failure, every collapse in his life, he would trace back to that wound. Honestly, he was not wrong about the pain, it was real. But, this particular evening, as he spoke, she asked him, curious to know how this story he kept replaying over the years had benefited him. He paused, and his eyes watered as he whispered, "It has brought me nothing but the same pain, over and over." Then she asked, "What has it taken from you?" This time, he did not speak, but his silence was louder than words. In that solemn moment she realized that he had seen an answer he couldn't communicate in words. He had witnessed the price of years of lost love, missed opportunities, and unclaimed inner strength. That night, he probably didn't forgive his father. No, forgiveness was a bit too far away, but he did make a vow not to keep feeding this negative story. And that night was the beginning of his freedom. To the millions of sons and daughters still blaming a parent, or the thousands of lovers or spouses blaming a significant person in their lives for their current predicaments, this message is for you. One of the most dangerous traps on the spiritual path is very often hidden in plain sight. It doesn't look like a trap at first because it disguises itself as justice denied, looks like truth demanding restitution, and comes across as self-protection. It feels righteous in its energy, but underneath it, your entire being remains chained to the very abyss you're trying to escape. That trap is blame, and in this video we are going to destroy its power by using a liberating sentence to identify and dissect the main binding ropes, chains and bars that blame embodies. The surgery we are about to perform on the concept of blame through analyzing that liberating question may sound simple, but our analysis will be done by a blade sharp enough to cut through years of self-deception and set you or anyone held in this cage free, if they are ready. Here's that liberating question that will set us free. Who are you constantly blaming for your situation because it is keeping you stuck? Together, let's break the sentence into its significant parts, not as words on a page, but as if we are holding a mirror to the mind of the victim caught in the blame trap. To achieve a successful dissection, we must notice how the sentence works and its three potent parts. The first part is, who are you constantly blaming? This part doesn't ask if you are blaming anyone. It assumes you are, and that assumption is usually correct. Not only that, it highlights the constancy of the pattern, for blame isn't a one-time act but a repeated and energy-draining ritual of the mind. The second part is, for your situation and why. This second part points to the story you've been rehearsing, linking the presumption that your life or situation is like this or like that simply because of them. It also exposes the faulty cause and effect logic the ego uses to protect itself. The third part is, because it is keeping you stuck. Here's where the trapdoor opens because the consequences of this blame exercise are laid bare, and the way out is made obvious to anyone desirous of true freedom. This third piece, when put together with the first two to make that complete sentence come question, declares the harsh truth, and that truth is that the very act of blame is the glue holding your pain in place. Yes, what you thought was your right, your justification, and your protection is actually your cage, in case you didn't know. So what happens when this realization dawns on the individual? When a person ready to escape this prison hears this, three things usually happen in sequence in his mind. The first is usually a deflection. Here, the ego attempts a negotiation and insists that blame is justified by saying, "But you don't understand, they really did hurt me." If this fails to work, the second event follows, and that is constant discomfort, and such a person starts noticing the repetition of the need to confront the issue that has refused to go away just by deflection. In this phase, the same story plays in their mind day after day, month after month, and eventually leads to the third event. After deflection fails and discomfort becomes persistent, the third event, which is recognition, ensues. This is a moment or period of silence that arises when they see the unmistakable truth that their accusations of others have become their prison. This is the turning point, and if the individual can endure and overcome the discomfort of this awareness and recognition, then the possibility of true freedom opens. With this in mind, let's move to chart the way out. Escaping this cycle doesn't mean denying the wrongs committed against you. It means refusing to let your soul remain handcuffed to them. And here's a 5-step framework for that transmutation. Step 1. Be aware of the projection at work by asking yourself honestly, who do I keep blaming for where I am in any aspect of my life? What story do I retell to myself, my friends, and my inner journal as I project this blame to others? Step 2. Recognize what this projection is costing you by writing down the price you are paying emotionally, spiritually, and in relationships. As you count these costs, you'll notice that it drains life force, steals creativity, and halts forward movement in more ways than you had previously noticed. Step 3 is transmutation of the blame into valuable realizations and insights. Instead of repeating, "They did this to me," shift to, "What does this reveal in me?" What wound keeps attracting or replaying this pattern? The trick is to keep reframing the narrative and shifting your interpretations of each event. For with all these shifts, the energy of blame becomes the fuel for an inner vision that charts your transformation path. Step 4. Reclaim your inner authority by concretizing the insights revealed into declarations. Speak aloud, "I reclaim the power I gave away by blaming," and say it until you feel it land in your soul. That statement is more than words, it's a chain-breaking decree. Step 5. Take embodied action. Blame thrives in passivity, while growth demands taking action. Actions like setting a boundary where needed, taking a step toward healing and moving from victimhood to authorship all shift you from the blame loop to the liberation spiral. The upward spiral of awareness, reflection, reclamation, action, and growth. Blame is seductive because it gives you the illusion of control without requiring you to take any step towards change. But real control, real sovereignty, does not come from rehearsing the past unendingly, but from reclaiming your power in the present. So every time you point the finger at others for your situation without stepping up to do something about it, you weld another bar onto your own prison cage. Every time you repeat the pain and blame story, you give yesterday the pen and let it write tomorrow. Every time you believe your freedom depends on someone else changing, you hand your soul power away. Stop. Take the key back. Your future is not in their hands, it is waiting in yours, and the instant you let go of blame, the prison dissolves. In that moment, you don't just walk out. Like an eagle, you flap your wings and fly away. Like and subscribe if you found value in this presentation, and keep on being the earthly ripple of divine love as you remain blessed and renewed on all levels.